So it makes our economics very, very strong, as Ilya will also show. So as I said, we take the cheap, low-rank coal, we upgrade it into upgraded coal, crude oil, and water power. Benefits for Thailand, they'll be able to import less crude oil. And everybody knows if you buy gas for your car, crude oil is very expensive these days. It'll help Thailand's trade balance. Higher quality, upgraded coal, better for the power plants. You have lower emissions, less contaminants, less mercury, sulfur, CO2. All probably terms that you hear even if you're not in the energy business. Also, the increased infrastructure. These are large projects. The smallest project would be $500 million, which we're not asking for today. But $500 million for the smallest project. So that brings lots of jobs and lots of good benefits to the local economy. George is going to come in now and talk about the market economy.
Hello, everybody. So my name, as Derek noted, my name is George Lowe. Speaking about the market. So you may be asking, why Thailand? Of all places. So first things first is that, based on our market research, we know that Thailand definitely has a need to improve their energy mix and security. CCI, our technology partner, is working in the Asia Pacific with the large players, China, Australia, India. So they have a strategy and they know how to move forward in these countries. But for Thailand, it's a bit of a smaller market, but they do have a need. So CCI themselves does not have a clear strategy for Thailand. And as you know, in this presentation, we do. We know what we need to do. We have an exclusive right with CCI. We have a relationship in Thailand with key potential players that can be a part of the consortium. And in the next slides, I will show this. So shown in the first slide, I just want to give you a quick snapshot of Thailand's energy mix. Back in the 80s, or before the 80s, 90% of Thailand's energy was from oil and hydroelectric power. Now, they have shifted when they found a natural gas reserve in the Gulf of Thailand. So they have shifted towards basically using 70% natural gas to generate power. The second largest piece is lignite and imported coal. So basically, lignite, as Derek noted, is the cheap coal, and imported coal is what they would consider as more higher quality coal is what they import. But if we look at the energy projections from the Ministry of Energy of Thailand, natural gas, they're looking at that depleting, the source depleting down to 25%, but you see that there's still consistency with coal. Coal will still be a key piece and cog of the energy mix, still roughly about 20% of the overall energy used for Thailand. Focusing on coal now, what you see here is just a trend. Thailand presently uses domestic coal resource, which is a low quality type coal. They have a lot of issues with Greenpeace because of the emission issues, sulfur. There's a lot of problems with this type of coal that's being used presently in Thailand. But they do see that coal is going to be a part of the overall mix. But what they're going to do is you'll see a gradual shift from using the domestic supply, which is all they have right now, and going towards imported coal. Higher quality, more expensive. This is going to be a problem from a financial point of view. On the other side of the CCI technology is that we do generate crude oil. That's the key piece of this overall project proposal. And as what I wanted to show here is just a snapshot of Thailand's crude oil imports. They are a net crude oil importer. They will be. As a part of this technology, we will be generating oil. Now, just to give you a quick idea, 10 CCI plants, we're targeting one right now, but 10 CCI plants can account for 8.5% of the overall country's imported crude oil right now. Market potential. Just wanted to show you, we have defined a set of criteria which would fit this type of technology. It is expensive, but we know that this is targeting the large power plants, 500 megawatts and above. These are 4 potential customers. And what I will focus on is the one shown here, which is called BLCP Power Limited. This is one that actually Derek and I, our team has been interfacing with to understand the need for coal now into the future. So I did an interview with Kun Niropas. Kun Isra Niropas, he is the strategic planning manager for the power plant. So just give a quick 30-second, 40-second.
Hello, today I'm here with Kun Isra Niropas, who is the strategic planning manager for BLCP Power Limited. How important is coal for Thailand now and within the next 20 years?
Thailand power generation industry that's quite heavily based on gas British nearly above 70% rely on gas. In terms of fuel mix, we have to diversify the other coal because actually that's a local coal we quite have the limited resource. We have to diversify fuel.
Okay. This is one potential person that could be fitting in our overall consortium, which Ilya will speak about. Just to give you a quick idea, Derek actually was in Thailand last Friday. We had a meeting with Kun Isara about this, and they have expressed interest to be a part of this type of technology. So, and they're also looking for good news, hopefully, from this presentation. So I'll hand it over to Ilya, who will be talking about the financials.
Hello everybody, I will try to be very short. How we will structure OFC Thailand. OFC Thailand needs long-term relations with several counterparties, which are very important. And it is really important to have long-term contracts with these parties because we want to raise finance, and finance is long-term, so contracts must be long-term. We need money to provide us coal of low quality. We need oil company to sell them crude. We need power company to sell them crude coal, and we need financing. We made a model for only one CCI plant, which shows its really fundamental strong characteristics of its technology. So there are key assumptions of the model. We took $90 per barrel for the Brent. We made assumptions that $350 million or $500 million investment will be provided by banks, by long-term financing, and we think this is quite reasonable because this is infrastructural project and it is really important. And 38%, $150 million of investment will be provided by equity investors. So this is DCF model for one CCI unit. And it takes 2 years for project development phase, 4 years for investment, and since year 7 it starts generating cash flows, and cash flows are really strong. It will generate over $100 million of cash flow from operations per annum. Overall, results of the project are very strong. Again, I would like to stress that this is power industry, this is infrastructural industries, but gains are really huge. We expect NPV to be $271 million and IRR almost 40%. We made sensitivities studies, and we see that the project is quite sustainable. And the key risk is that oil prices go down and coal prices go up, which we think is not very probable. How do we see the budget for our project development company and the exit strategy for early investors? We'll need for project development phase 2 years. It will require $2 million, and these expenses will consist of personal costs and technical expertise mostly. This is the exit strategy we made for investors. Because of its excellent fundamental characteristics, OFC will be able to bring extremely high profits for early investors. And we made exit strategy as follows. We suggested that 10% of NPV will be the sale price of this project development company. So amount distributable to shareholders once the project development company completes its mission will be $26 million, which will be distributed 25% to funds and 75% to management. So funds with initial investment of $2 million will receive $6 million in 2 years. So now we are going to summary, and I again pass the word to them.
As I said at the start, OFC Thailand is a project development company. Large infrastructure projects in Japan and Thailand. We're pursuing 10 current projects in Thailand, trying to get the first one funded. Crude oil production per project, 7,000 to 21,000 barrels a day. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that is. That's a nice sized oil field right there. Generates high paying jobs, a lot of money in the local economy, and improves Thai trade balance. And as Elia mentioned, funding requirements, $2 million for the project development company over the first 2 years. Projected returns, 300% for investors. Project size, as I said, large projects. And then the exit strategies, both at the start of the project and the end of the project, depending on your preference. Now, I realize most of the folks here are not in energy, but every one of you knows somebody in energy, and we want to talk to them, okay? So we have a website available, and we're available, www.OFC Thailand, so you can check out, and we'll be happy to answer questions later on today.